This is one of several books that my wife loves to create. It's a picture book filled with the highlights of our recent trip to Egypt. This presentation is for those of you who might consider such a trip. Why the Nile? Relatives had given us a really great description of their travels down the Nile. I have a degree in anthropology, watch TV shows, hours poring over National Geographic, looking at archaeology. All of that formed an image of what I thought I might be going through. But the real reason that I went to the Nile is because of a song that my mummy used to sing. And it went something like this. She sailed away on a bright and sunny day on the back of a crocodile. You see, said she, he's as tame as he can be. I'll ride him down the Nile. But the croc gave a wink as she waved them all goodbye, wearing a great big smile. At the end of the ride, the lady was inside, and the smile on the crocodile. Well, as you can imagine, that croc has lived in my memory for 65 years. So when Barbara suggested that we take a train trip through the Alps, visit our friends in Switzerland, and then end up with a trip down the Nile, I couldn't resist. We left Dallas at about 5:30 in the evening, got to Spain 9 hours later, 2 hours layover, 5 more hours to Cairo. 15, 16 hours flight time, but you arrive in Cairo pretty much the same time you leave Dallas. This is Egypt, and the way it looks today. You see where everybody lives. Nobody lives out in this region. Nobody lives right here. But 9,000 years ago, that's where everybody lived. That was grasslands. The people raised cattle. They had a little bit of agriculture. But over 3,000 years, the desert pushed the entire population onto the river. The villages started showing up about 6,000 years ago. Empire occurred 5,200 years ago. This is what Cairo looks like today. It's crowded. If you look right here, right there, there's a little street. You can get a car through there, but not much else, and it has to go slowly. At night, everybody comes out. It's a huge street party. As you walk along the street, you see families just sitting on the side. They're visiting. I don't think anybody watches TV. They all wait for the night. Kids are running around in the street playing kickball and tag. Here a family has stopped at a little food court to get a snack. Here's where people are shopping. These are not tourists. These are people from Cairo. As you walk down the street, you see families who just set up spontaneous little shops, and the whole family is involved. You see artisans here working on their wares and the sale of those. As you go down the Nile and get outside of Cairo, things get a little bit more primitive. There's a cotton purveyor. This is a pharmacist. Coffee shop. We stopped at a rug building. This rug is going to take 6 to 9 months to build. This is a 12-year-old working next to his father. He didn't go to school. He's learning his trade here. The average income of an Egyptian is $12.50 a day. The main income for the country is the tourist business. 12.5% of the gross national product is from tourists. So they pay a lot of attention to the tourists. Here is an obligatory stop on the camel, sit on it, ride around for a little bit. That's perfect background for the pictures. As I took this picture, somebody walked up and said, here, I'll take this picture. I take a couple pictures. There's a couple. That's very nice. And afterwards, he returned my camera, and I wanted to give him a tip, but I only had a $20 bill. So I went to him, I said, hey, I want to give you a tip, but I only have a 20. Can you give me 15 back? He said, sure, that's not a problem. I gave him the 20, and he thanked me, put it in his pocket, and turned and started walking away. So wait a minute, you said you were going to give me 15 back. I know, sir, but I'm from a very poor village. They need the money in the village. No, you said to 15, give me 15 back. He said, no, really, my mom's in the hospital, I need this money for it. No, and then I raised my voice again, and by that time, our guide heard what was going over, and he came over, asked me what was going on, and for the next 2 minutes, he was screeching at this guy in Arabic. You just stand back and watch, oh my God. And then the overseer of the entire area came over, asked my guide a question or two, said only 2 or 3 words to the other guy. The guy whipped out a wad of money this thick, pulled out the money, gave it to me, turned and walked away. I mention all of that because you might be concerned about security. This is the #1 income for this country. They're looking out for you. In addition to my guide watching out for us, the company itself had hired an armed guard to go around with. So you have 20 people in a group with the guide, but an armed guard is accompanying us wherever we went in Egypt. On top of that, as you went down the Nile, any venue that you went to, there were police milling about and military. So I want to reassure you about, is it safe there? Absolutely. In fact, I went out walking by myself early in the morning in one of the cities down the Nile, and I didn't feel threatened in the slightest. This is what you see when you walk into the Grand Egyptian Museum. This is a colossal statue. And here you can get an idea of just how big it is, but also the massive size of this museum. This had opened up just 2 months before I got there. You have to get tickets 6 months in advance if you go. As you have to walk up. You have to walk up 5 flights. They have an escalator over there, but you walk up 5 flights to get to the main floor. But as you walk up, you see all of these statues that have been collected throughout Egypt. At the very top is the main attraction of this museum. This is a sarcophagus of King Tut. Look at the detail of something that was created like 4,000 years ago. This is a better view of it. Imagine pouring 1,200 pounds of gold and still getting this detail. It was stunningly beautiful. This is his face shield. On the back of it is name and deity. All of this in this box covered with gold. It was gold inlaid. And this box was in a second, which was in a third, which was in a fourth, all covered with gold, all with these hieroglyphics on the side. The total weight of that gold equaled a value of about $200 million worth of gold from this one burial site. And this gets to the greatest disappointment of this trip. Somebody asked me, what's your greatest disappointment? My greatest disappointment is that they only gave us an hour and a half to get around in this museum. If you go to Egypt and you do nothing else, you go to this museum and you spend 2 days. It takes that much time to get around. 2 days. I raced around for an hour and a half taking pictures as fast as I could. Just so much there. I couldn't read the descriptions, but I got what I could. Behind that museum is another massive building, and in it is this ship that was recovered. It had been buried adjacent to a pyramid and had not disintegrated over 4,000 years. This is an actual Egyptian ship.